Hello everyone, my name is Kid Lee and welcome to a Star Wars The Old Republic news update. Here in this video we have a variety of subjects to cover, including changes to the CXP Bug, RP Shards, group finder changes, the new Warzone Screenshots, and what exactly is an MTX cartel market specialist? Now before we get started, I wanted to briefly mention that Chuck and Brian over at the Bad Feeling podcast just had an interview with Charles and Musco. Some of this news is actually coming from that interview, so I'm not going to actually spoil the entire interview. But if you want to see the interview in its entirety, I will go ahead and put the links down below this video. For topic number one, we're going to talk about what the developers are going to do about the lovely CXP bug that we once had. Because they kind of mentioned in the roadmap that they wanted to do something with it, but they weren't entirely sure what it was. Well, what they announced was on 10/31/17, so actually only about a week away or so, they are going to go ahead and boost some of those dailies once again. But here's what they're going to do, and here's the example that they gave. As an example, they're going to take the weekly mission and they're going to bump up the CXP for that weekly mission. The actual dailies are going to pretty much stay the same, if not maybe get bumped up just a little bit. But what they went ahead and said was, as an example, if there was a daily area that had 5 quests, let's say, and when it was bugged, it gave 1,000 CXP per quest. Again, just random numbers. So what they would then do for the weekly is the weekly is now going to give 5,000. So if there were 5 quests, each gave 1,000, the weekly is now going to give 5,000. So I think that's going to be a really, really good start. And what their goal is for this is they're going to allow basically everyone to have that bug come back once a week by doing that weekly mission. That is sort of their current goal regarding this particular change. Next up, let's talk about RP Shards, or instances. The developers are well aware that the merging of the servers is going to pretty much kill the RP community, and so they've been looking at ways to try and avoid that. One of the things they're currently looking into are RP Shards. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you know, when you're in the game and you hit M to bring up the map, then down in the lower right you can actually click what shard you want to go into, you know, Fleet 1, Fleet 2, PvP, or whatever. So they're looking at adding an RP shard, so the people that want to RP, they can set their thing to that, and they can basically always be in that RP shard to go ahead and do that. Now, they said that if they are able to do it, it most likely wouldn't happen this year, but it would probably happen next year, again, if they are able to do it. Apparently, there's some issues on making that happen. Don't know exactly what that is at this time. Now, I've already been talking with some people, and they were saying, well, if they add this RP shard, then people are just going to go there to farm stuff, and it's basically just going to be like another shard. And, you know, I don't know if that's a good solution or not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but with the servers merging, that might be the only option that is available. So, if you're somebody who's really big into the RP community, I'd love for you to make a comment down below this video on whether or not you like this option, or if you think there's a better option out there. I'd love to hear from you. Moving on, let's talk about the group finder changes. Again, this was something that was mentioned in the roadmap, but they really didn't elaborate on exactly what they mean by this. So they gave just a little bit of info, and they said, first of all, they are going to be doing a completely new interface for the group finder. Okay. There's going to be new options in the group finder, including solo activities, which I thought was really interesting. I don't know if they totally mean just, you know, more of the planetary stuff, or what exactly they mean by solo activities. And then finally, I think this is probably the better one, and they said better rewards. Because right now, really, the only thing you get out of the group finder is like, oh, if you queue for everything, you get that daily reward or whatever. So the fact that they might actually enhance all those categories with way better stuff, I think that's definitely going to be a thumbs up. Next, let's go ahead and check out these new Warzone screenshots. So again, in the roadmap, if you didn't hear, there is a new Warzone coming out. And you can actually see it on here. It's going to be on Yavin, so that's going to be pretty cool. Now, I don't think they'd really released a lot of information on exactly what this Warzone is going to be, but these screenshots totally give it away. You know, this one screenshot in particular, it's like, you look at this, and it's almost a carbon copy of the one that's already in the game. I mean, you can see, like, the fighting platform there. You can see the little thing you click on, and then there's the gun. And then the second screenshot is the center area with the gun up top. So it's going to be the 3-point capture scenario, but just on a different map. So I don't know if the PvP community is really happy about that or not. I think a lot of people would really like to see a new mode rather than a current mode with just a new map. And just looking at that screenshot again, it's like, man, that is really, really a reskin. They didn't really go too crazy with this design at all. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like it? Hate it? Yay? Nay? Rather see a new mode? What do you think? Let me know. And then the final piece of news for this. This was actually a term that came from Charles Boyd, and I thought this was really, really interesting. Because even in some of my previous videos, I've talked about whether or not BioWare/EA has people who only work on the cartel market and that's all they do. Because just simply based on the amount of content that they put into that cartel market, it just seemed to me like they must have a group devoted to where that's all they do is cartel market stuff. And if you think about it, whether it's a weapon, whether it's armor, if they're doing anything that requires, you know, animation or particle effects or whatever, that takes a lot of work. And the fact that they're putting out these packs so fast, I mean, I was just like, this is interesting. So, during the BadFeeling interview, Charles Boyd said the words MTX, Cartel Market Specialist. And so I was like, MTX, what does that mean? Sitting there in my mind going through all the gaming terms that I know. MTX. So I went ahead and I researched it. Come to find out, MTX is an EA word for microtransactions. So, Boyd basically confirmed that, and again, we don't know if SWTOR is doing the cartel market or if it's EA. Either way, SWTOR has a team of microtransaction cartel market specialists. Right? Why am I not surprised? After all the recent news that we've had about Visceral shutting down and the pay-to-win aspects of Battlefront 2 and just this microtransaction loot box nonsense is just out of control right now. It is. It is out of control. And I think people are really, really getting tired of it. Where's going to be the breaking point in this? That's all I want to know. Where is the breaking point? How much worse is it going to get before people just start completely losing their minds on this? But no, I thought that was actually like the most interesting thing in that whole interview. When he said that, I'm just like, MTX? What is that? And then, like I said, I researched it, and I'm like, oh my god. All of my theories have now been realized. So I just had to tell you guys that because it was crazy. It was crazy. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That'll go ahead and do it for this one. Of course, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you all so much for watching. MTX Cartel Market Specialist. Keep playing. Have fun. I'm getting choked up now. I gotta go. Keep playing. Have fun. See you next time.